Start the podcast, Carlie. You never start the podcast. The people want to hear from you.
Anyways.
Carlie. Man,
hey, y'all. How you doing? Happy Monday. I feel like I always say the same thing. I need to mix it up.
Right. We either started out super ridiculous, like mad delirious, or we're just like, hello, everybody. Good day.
Hello. The topic for today is...
Right. Like, which one do y'all want?
Real lukewarm. What's real lukewarm? We got to find like an in-between because today is clearly a delirious day. Man, but how y'all doing? How you feeling? What are you excited about today? Lex, what you excited about today? I felt at first I asked them, but then I turned it towards you. I love to ask this.
Today?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't like that you said that today. Recording this podcast episode. How about that?
Yeah.
I'm going to take the low, easy way out.
No, I like that. And you can't ever judge what somebody's excited about. And you didn't ask me, but I'm going to tell you anyways.
Yeah, I didn't.
Lex been on it. I am excited about all of the dope ass people in my life.
Aww.
Like my heart. So much gratitude. Thanks to everybody in my life. Y'all are amazing.
That makes a difference.
It does. It wouldn't be as flavorful, fun, challenging, amazing without you.
Or part of it is it makes a difference to focus on those people instead of
the nonsense.
Yeah, instead of the people who's like dragging you in circles or the naysayers or whatever else, because those people always exist. But it's really cool when all of a sudden you realize like, yo, that doesn't even bother me right now, or I haven't even been thinking about this person or that person or whatever. Like that's always cool to me when it's like oh, they haven't even crossed my mind.
I also hate when people are like, oh, I do that for the haters. I don't do anything for haters.
Nothing for nobody who's not supporting me.
At all. I do things for people that love me and support me and are here and inspire me, believe in me. Maybe not,
That's real.
It's like I don't do things for people who hate.
And then high key, I try not to even look at the audience, like not even know the audience is there because, I need to do what I enjoy doing, what I want to do, and what I feel like I'm led and driven to do.
Regardless.
Yep.
If anybody, like me and Lex joke all the time, like we would so do this if nobody listened. Like we appreciate you and we love all the thoughtful comments and reviews. Leave us 5 stars.
Ooh, that was nice.
# Carlie's Couch screenshot. Tell us what's up, where you from, how you doing, what you're excited about. But we would do this even if nobody listened because it's a passion project. It's something we enjoy and it's so cathartic.
It's fun. Like even if I'm like, oh, shoot, let me finish editing before it goes out or something. And it's like 1 a.m. I'm like, wow, I actually want to stay up to do it. It's different when you stay up and it's like you're enjoying it and you're like, I feel good because I feel like this is important. And like, I want to get this out and that, I want to follow through too, especially. So it has been really, really fun. We appreciate all the thoughtful things. We know we've said this a few times, but, we get such thoughtful comments on the YouTube channel. Thanks for everybody who watched. Share it, subscribe to it, share the podcast, just like send it to a friend if there's an episode you think a friend would enjoy. We appreciate that. We're not really asking you for anything, but, we appreciate that you listen and that you've given us such good feedback.
We appreciate you. Thank you.
And so today,
what we talking about?
Dang.
Sorry. Today we're what?
So today, what we're going to do is we're going to almost have like a resources episode where we want to talk about some of the top apps that we like, mobile apps for creativity, for productivity, for health, for lifestyle, finance. We have a few different categories, but we want to throw out some key apps in our lives. And hopefully you'll hear some stuff maybe you haven't heard of before, haven't used, and maybe you could try it out and it works for you. Also, of course, let us know what you like in each of these categories. We'd love to check out different apps. I'm always trying to, try to find something
Step my
new.
game up, like help increase the quality of my life or help make me more efficient or whatever. I'm always down for that. This is a disclaimer, though. Both of us have iPhones. So if you have Google Play.
What else is there? Shout out Google Play listeners.
Hey,
it's
what's
like 3
up?
of y'all.
But we appreciate you. And if there are I think some of the apps like Gold.
Most apps they make for both.
But if there's not, if there's some really dope stuff for Google Play that we can share for a couple
for
remote.
Androids. See, we don't even know how to talk about y'all's phones, but it's all good. I'm not hating on y'all.
Stacey
I just don't like that Comic
episode,
Sans. Right.
Or the way that the emojis look.
Right. Like, why are they so goofy? Meanwhile, they're
we
like,
sound
oh,
so
but we could have did
elitist.
all these features like 3 years ago that we just got. It's cool.
No, for real, they really could do everything that
They
we do
really
now,
could,
like
yeah.
25 years ago.
100%. They pictures been crispier, but not on like Snapchat and Instagram for some reason. It's like mad GTA.
Grainy.
Yeah.
It looks like one of those TVs before HD with the big backs.
But we're not here to roast you if you have an Android. We
No.
understand. Everybody has different phones.
And y'all like small computers in your hand, and that's fine.
Right.
No, they are. They're like real computers. They be doing everything.
Oh, man. Y'all
But we have
remember who
iPhones.
talked to Junk about Androids, that it was Carlie.
No, Lex clearly. Okay, see, here she go. Anyways, I just wanted to make that disclaimer, but also to say, since we do not have that lens of Android, Google Play, please shout us out so we can put some of these things in the show notes and
Yeah,
also
that'd be
our
cool.
resource list, because we send out a newsletter. Subscribe, carliescouch.com, CarLies.
Yeah, go to the
couch.
website sometimes. I mean, it's not anything different besides listening and watching, and you can read about us. But, oh, you know what? We have gotten a couple of people who filled out the messaging, and they've chosen praise report and said like cool things that they enjoyed listening. So if you do have an idea for a guest or a topic or just have anything you want to say, then definitely go do that too. Like, we like the communication.
We do,
We're
and
into
if
that.
there's a lengthy scroll down list, so you can be very specific. If you have an Android and you have a quality roast or troll for us, there's a tab for you.
Bet, and I will read it.
As long
right
as it's
here.
quality. If it's not quality, keep it.
Yeah, if
like
it ain't
those
quality.
Snapchat videos.
If I don't laugh, I'm just gonna ignore it.
Okay, so circling back to apps for everyday life that we use. Where are we starting?
Well, before we even get into our list of apps, first of all, let's talk about how much time we actually spend on our phones.
Oh.
So I think we specifically wanted to think about mobile apps because, like, I literally know where my phone is at all times, and if I don't, like, I'm doing the pat down, like, within
Did I leave it?
clean 3-4 seconds of like not feeling like I know where my phone is, and I'm gonna find it. But they have this thing on the new iOS called Screen Time, and there's other apps that do this too. But I recently started using Screen Time. It's in the settings to see what I'm opening up the most on my phone, how many times I pick up my phone, how many hours I'm spending on my phone and on different apps. And I think that's so interesting because I'm like, why do I have more hours on Twitter than I have billable hours this week? But very quickly though, so for me, for example, I guess like I just said, Twitter was the top thing. It was like, oh, you was on here 30 hours last week. And I was like, bet. But since then I was like, okay, I paid more attention to it. And I literally, at first I was trying to do a couple hours a day instead of like 4 and 5. And it was like, time up by 10 a.m. Time up by 9 a.m. I'm like, what am I doing
It's
wrong?
8:13 and you are already out of Twitter
But
time.
like by the end of the week, one day it was like 10 p.m. that if I finally got the little 15-minute limit, and I was like, this today, like I was working too. Like I really had like good deep work. And we should talk about deep work one day, levels of working. But I had a really good deep work day where I was like zoned in for like a clean, like, couple hours at a time. And I just wasn't on my phone like that. And I felt good. And so just to get that reinforcement, and sometimes you just need to see the analytics and just know.
Yeah, that's the thing for me is seeing it because I was nervous. I was like, oh, I need to do this update just so I can see. But I was
all
scared.
on the gram.
I know. And so Instagram is my highest app, but actually I spend more time in messages and on the phone than I did in Instagram, which is interesting to me because I would have never thought that.
Mine was like phone calls, 0.01, dry.
And so I was really surprised, and I also was very proud because they have it broken up into categories. And I actually had a lot of time on learning and things like that. I was like, yes, Cece, like you didn't even know you were doing these things. And the thing that was frustrating for me is the amount of times like I picked up my phone on average per day. I'm like,
we're addicted. It's automatic.
It is, and like we don't even think about it, and it interrupts everything. It like takes you out of the present moment, and even like seeing my phone because we use all of our equipment to record everything. Even it's just seeing it, I'm like,
mad
ooh,
antsy every time we record because I wish I could pick it up and do something.
But we can't, and so but that's good. That's also less time that we have to be on our
man.
screens. And it also gives your eyes a rest. It gives your brain a rest and allows you to enjoy being with the people that you're with or doing the work that you're doing or reading the book.
Sometimes just having a quiet moment. Like we've talked about that before. Even if you're in the grocery store line, like I don't need to be looking down and like breaking my neck every minute that I'm free.
Posture.
walking down the street. Like, I've fallen down in the street 'cause I'm like, yo, Lex, what are you doing? Like,
I've tripped so
just
hard.
look around, right? Like,
You know when you trip and you run out of it?
You got to jog it off. But it's funny because anytime you trip too, it's just like, like I totally didn't see any of that.
And I did it to myself.
We just got to be more conscious.
And
man.
I know, and I noticed that I started looking around at traffic stops because I'm making a 100% conscious effort to get my phone out of my hand and not even look at, even at a stoplight, I don't want to be on my phone. And I look around.
Oh, you mean while driving?
Yeah, and everybody is on their phone.
Yeah, everybody.
That's terrifying.
And yeah, sometimes I'll just look around and everybody's neck is bent looking at their phone. And we are no different, hence our favorite apps.
Nope. Dun, 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 dun. Favorite apps.
So first, let's talk about some work and productivity apps. Those are, I don't know, probably, I actually don't think I do as much work stuff, minus the fact that my work is social media, so sometimes so I'm not counting that. But I don't think I use too much like work stuff on my phone, not as much nearly as my laptop.
Yeah.
You go through yours first.
Okay. I almost started singing Rihanna work. We're working on that. But so project management, I'm really working on integrating my to-do list into my phone because I like handwriting things. But at the same time, I can set reminders on my phone since it's in my hand all the time. Instead of just my Google Calendar and my iCalendar, I use Trello and Asana or Asana. I say Asana because that's the way to say it for yoga stuff, but everybody else says Asana, which are project management software. And they have different features, but they essentially do the same thing where you can, so for each of my clients, they have a different whole project. And within each of those, I make a little list of things I need to do and get done today. And it's just a good place to go and remind myself. I even have a list for my personal life. So I love that. Productivity, I set alarms for things. So when I'm having work sessions, I know that I cannot work 3 hours straight. That's not going to work. So depending on how I'm feeling, I'll set a reminder to stretch, to breathe, to move my neck, to get up and walk around. So I use my alarms, the Screen Time app because it helps me with my productivity, which we already discussed. Google Keep is great because you can put lists of things in there. Like I keep all my clients like social media passwords and things like that.
I've never heard of Google Keep. What's the difference between that and like Drive or something? Oh, that's the one that just stores.
Yeah, it just stores things.
Oh, got you.
And so that's where I keep all of my passwords just in case things change. So if I'm ever like, I need to know what this invoice number is, I can just go there and see it, and I have all my information in one place. And then the last one is Google Voice because people out here be wilding, and I don't like putting my number on everything. And so I have a Google Voice number that's different than mine that has a Cali zip code that comes to my phone.
Area code?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I have one of those too. I have a 310.
You probably got to burn it somewhere.
100%. My work and productivity apps, because I was trying to think of stuff that wasn't like super duper regular. One that I use is Later for my social media scheduling for some of the clients. I really like Later because it's free. It lets you preview how things look planned out. It lets you get notifications of when to post something up that's next. They do some analytics and stuff too to let you know about how people engage with your content.
Can I ask you a question about that one? Have you ever used Buffer? Because I totally didn't think about that. I use Buffer. Is there a reason why you prefer Later over Buffer?
And I prefer it over, there's another one called Planoly, and there's another one called Preview. I just like, and a lot of times it just comes down to the layout. I just like the layout of it better and maneuvering and how I can put notes and like, I can put like different tags, the way you can tag things and put notes on things. So like if I'm trying to have kind of a color scheme or look for something in particular, I as I put images and video in there, I kind of put those notes that I know I might look for. So that way I can kind of find everything that's similar later.
Oh, that's kind of cool because I use Buffer and I didn't even think about that as an app and I use it every day. But yeah, I have to check that one out too.
I put analytics. I like my Google Analytics mobile app, not necessarily using Google Analytics on the laptop, but on the mobile, I like it because it's kind of like more of a shortcut and showing you very quickly like exactly what times people are on your website. Like you can look through it and it's just so cool. Could just see where people are from, all of that. So I like doing that on the app instead of online. And then my third one, I would say the FreshBooks app. I like the FreshBooks app on mobile because I could be out and about working, and I've been like on the train and been like, bloop, send that invoice. And like I could send it right from the phone.
That's nice.
I could track my time. Like if I'm doing some kind of work or in a meeting and I forgot, I can just open the app real quick and be like, set the time that I'm working for like billable hours and stuff. So I like doing that from my phone too, because sometimes I'll forget, or if I just think like, yo, I need to send this invoice or do something, I can just do it right there on my phone. So I like that. They have a pretty good app.
Or free?
I have a paid account.
Okay.
Because then I have like a lot of contractors and stuff like that on it as well. They might have a free one though. I think most things have like a free tier.
Okay. No, that's dope. So those are for work productivity. Yet again, please screenshot, share what you use, or ask questions. Let us know.
I think the next category is my favorite because that was easy. Look, we got so many apps for this next category, which you could probably guess what it is.
Mental and physical health.
Yep.
Mind, body, soul.
There's so many health apps now.
Oh my God.
And even like tech accessories and stuff, Fitbits and your
iWatches, Apple Watches,
and now I guess they even have the
everything.
health stuff in your phone too, but I've never actually used that.
Oh, I use that.
You do?
Yeah, I use it like every time I go to the doctor. For the past couple of years, it's the little heart. It's a white box and it has a heart in it, and it's automatically on your phone. And you can put I always put my blood pressure every time I get it. There's a weight update. You can put there's all kinds of stuff.
You better than me because I saw that setup and I was like, yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, the interface isn't very great, which was she was talking about earlier. Like the user interface isn't that great, but I like it just to track my own health. Like I don't weigh myself for weight because bodies are built very differently, and the BMI was not made for people of color or people who have a different type of build. But today I did weigh myself, and I put that in there, and I was like, oh man, like I can just look at the data points. I like having analytics on myself
and seeing the charts and stuff too. Okay, cool. Do you want me to just say mine first? Or you go? So for me, my first ones are more of mental health. So mental health apps that I like. Number one would be Talkspace, and that's my therapy app that I use. You can log in, you can let them know what you're looking for in a therapist, and they match you with some real people, so you get an option. Like for mine, I said I prefer an African-American woman, for example. And then I got Dr. Jacqueline Smith from Oakland.
What up?
But for example, so they sent me some examples to look through, and you read their bio, see about them, and it was like her. The other lady was just more, she just looked more cute and put together, and her writing was like real cutesy. So I was like, nah, I think I'm a rock with Dr. Smith.
Yeah.
So she's been super cool. And with the app, you can do videos if you want to. But really, it's almost like texting. I found that because one day I tweeted, like, it'd be cool if you could just text a therapist sometimes, or just text somebody that's not like a friend, but like a random person who knows what they're talking about. And I think maybe somebody mentioned that or something. I found it. And I did it, and it's pretty cool. It's pretty affordable. It depends. I think I needed it more when I first got it, but since then, if you try to cancel, or if you say, you know what, I don't need as much bandwidth, like checking in every day or a couple times a week, whatever it is, they have different levels. So there's like levels where you can be paying $40 a month. There's levels you could be paying like $150 a month or something like that. But it's pretty cool because I can just hit her when I hit her. She hits me every once in a while, like, hey, how you doing? Like, what's going on? And it's pretty cool. So I really like Talkspace. I recommend that to anybody. Didn't mean for that to be so long, but I really recommend it.
No, that's awesome.
For me, my favorite meditation app is Calm. Go ahead and tell them what yours is so we can argue again.
Well, first, I'm going to go back because there's another...
Yeah, let's bounce
like
back
another
and forth
online therapy type app that I just discovered. It's called a Youper. Youper. Youper.
What does that mean, or do you know?
I have no idea.
Okay.
But maybe like your person in my head. That's kind of
something.
like that's
okay.
But it's kind of. Do y'all remember Ask Jeeves? Like I don't know how old our audience is.
Not Ask Jeeves. That was like some middle school stuff.
It really is. But you ask like, you can ask any question like, oh, what's the weather like today? It's kind of like Alexa, right? But as in my head or Google, like Google, what is whatever. But this is for mindfulness, and so a bunch of psychiatrists and psychologists got together and made this app where it's an AI, like so artificial intelligence and AI that adapts to you personally, but they still run all of the stuff behind it. So for example, you download it, you do a profile, and they give you not your 16 personalities, which I'm an ENFP, but not that, but something very similar to tell you a lot about
like
your
their
personality.
Own thing?
Yeah, yeah, their own thing, and like how it correlates to the 16 personalities, so you can kind of get a base. And then they'll ask you like, well, how are you today? And then you rate like, okay, well, I'm feeling stressed. And they're like, well, what percent stress? Like 100 or like 10? And they're like, well, what are some of the factors? And it starts to get to know you. And then, okay, so you're stressed. So they'll be like, okay, well, do you want to talk about it? Do you want to say why? Like, if some of the factors, you can do that. And after you do that, then they give you options like mindfulness, breathing, like they'll give you a meditation or an article. Because if you're like, that's like, even like, okay, this is like, so he'll say, or he or she or whatever your person is on your phone will say, oh, you're stressed and these are the factors. Would you like to practice mindfulness? Would you like to do this? Or would you like to do this? And you can do them, or you can say no. And you just continue and you just set it. Like I put up a reminder. I just got this like last week, but I really think it's cool.
What's the end goal though? Them just exposing you to different things you can try?
That, but to also give you your own personal mental health assistant.
So like if you say no, what happens next?
He says, it says, and I guess mine's a he, even though I prefer women therapists, but it's just like, okay, well, thank you, come back. Like
it's kind of like you do it at your own pace.
Yeah, you do it at your own pace, and you can just tell them that you're feeling stressed and like, hey, what are the factors? And you could say, I'm done, and you're done for that day. But it like slowly introduces you to things and sees what level. But if you're just curious and you have a knowledge for learning about yourself and what stresses you, you can look at your analytics. So I looked at the past week and I had a lot going on this week and I could tell, okay, when I'm exhausted and don't get enough sleep, I'm more irritable and I'm more stressed. And you start to notice these correlations, which seem like they are very easy to get to, but now you have the scientific proof.
So are they always asking different questions, or is it like kind of the same round?
It's so far, because I just got it. So far it's just been like, well, how are you? Figuring out why. But I think once it gets to know you more, it starts to morph a little bit.
That's pretty cool. And what about for meditation?
For meditation, so she likes Calm. Calm is also a woman's voice. I have Headspace, which is a man's voice, and he has like a British accent.
He's like Australian.
I think he's British. I've actually met him and Rich, like the two founders. They're really awesome at USC, of course, and then through Girls Build LA. But yeah, I like Headspace because they have like the minute-long one. So if I'm, feel myself start to freak out and I literally only have a minute to breathe, they have like refocus, calm down, settle down, refresh. Like I like those a lot. Then they have guided meditations for relationships or anxiety or self-love or any of those things. They have them. The only thing that I do not like when it comes to the app is I feel like sometimes he just be cutting off without saying anything. Like I'm just sitting there and I'm meditating and then part of me is like, wait, I feel like this is longer than 10 minutes. But the other part is like, no, just be present and meditate. And I'm like, okay, it really feels like it's been longer than 10 minutes. And I looked at my phone. I was like, man, it's over. He didn't even say nothing. And I'm like, oh, man.
Meanwhile, on the Calm app, she's like, now gently open your eyes. Get accustomed to the surroundings.
I'm like, did I just fall asleep and miss him saying that?
And remember this, music, fade out, and I'm refreshed. But I like Calm app. And I think it's important also for us to talk about with, some of these mental and physical health apps that they do cost money. With Calm, there's a free version. You get to do a few of the meditations and stuff. Headspace expensive too. But Calm is pretty expensive. I think I pay like $60 something for the year, but it's literally, there's very few apps that I've ever paid for, and that's literally worth it to me because I go into it so often. I use it at least more than 4 times a week. So for me, it is worth it. So you can try the free versions and see how you like it, and see if there's any like promos or anything like that. But I really like the Calm app. I like meditation apps because I like when it's kind of guided, not just trying to sit here and figure it out. Yeah,
especially if you don't have a lot of experience in meditation, because you can try it. And meditation is not easy, and I'm still, learning and growing and working on it. But you can definitely try some of those for free. Try Calm, try Headspace, try some on YouTube because everybody has a different way and you can kind of find your own thing.
Also, one that I discovered recently that I downloaded because I used to have this issue and I don't anymore, but I was very interested in it because, at the time when I was going through this, I didn't have an app for it. But there's also an app called Calm, the same thing, Calm Harm. And what it does is like when you're feeling like that low where you feel like you want to do self-harm or you want to do anything to like hurt yourself, you open the app. And it really just takes your attention away. It's like little games or like little fun things you can do. Like do this, not like a puzzle, but it's cooler than what I'm saying. But it's like brain activities almost to like get your mind off of it. So I thought that was really interesting that there's so many apps that are more specific even for people who might be dealing with things like that too. So I got that just because I was really interested in seeing like what does it look like, what does it do? Because sometimes if you get to a low place, it's just a matter of like, you have a quick minute to like just make a decision to do something else, and that could be that thing when you have it, and it's designed for that to kind of take your mind to a different place.
No, that's really awesome. I'm glad you shared that because I didn't even know that existed. I saw it on Thing and I was like, oh wow.
I saw it somewhere, and like I said, I'm really interested to see what it looked like. So I was like, man, this is pretty cool.
No, that's awesome.
We talked about sleep cycle in one of the previous episodes. That's the one I couldn't think of during the episode, but sleep cycle I love because it tracks all the analytics while you're sleeping. So I think that's really cool. I just really, like you said, I like these apps that have all these analytics and learning about
I like
myself.
to learn
We're
and
nerds.
grow. We are. We like data.
We're nerds. I like, this one's for the women. I
have one of those too.
I like Flow. I almost forgot about it because I was looking through my phone to prep for this, and I was like, oh yeah, I really like Flow, because similar to what you said with putting in your medical information, I like Flow. It's an menstruation, ovulation tracker for women, but I like it because, you know, they have the categories like how you're feeling, or you're dealing with acne today, bloated, cravings, sexual activities, and all kinds of different things. So I like putting that stuff in when I think about it. Sometimes I miss it, but I like putting those things in because sometimes I'm like, yo, I'm irritable today, or I'm like, man, I'm craving whatever today. And sometimes it just makes me feel better to be like, wait a minute.
Exactly.
And look at my app and be like, bet. Okay, so I'm not crazy. I'm not off. It's just that, 3 days away from this. Or for me, it's like, I've realized I learned more about myself too, because I realized really I don't really have the PMS thing. I'm more like off the wall around ovulation time. So then it's like, yo, my mind is everywhere. It doesn't need to be around then. But that quickly lets me know, like, it's my hormones. It's not, it's not just like me.
Yeah. I wrote one down. I didn't even see yours. I wrote it down. Like? P tracker. It's literally just like a P tracker. And so
I didn't know what that P meant. I was looking at it like, well, I can't wait till she get the P tracker.
Menstruation. And it's so helpful to know, like, man, I'm so irritable. I'm so upset. Like I'm crying. Like I'm so like, cause I'm a softie anyways. But if I'm like crying at little time, I'm like, okay, something like, let me look at my lap. Oh, okay. My app justifies it. But what's funny is when it doesn't.
That did happen to me last week. I was like, well, I'm tripping.
You be ready. Like, man, I'm about to.
I was like, oh, bet I'm about to 14 days away. I was like, I don't even know what this is.
Yeah, this actually has nothing to do with it. But I'm like, oh, that's why I want to eat a whole house.
Right. That's real.
Like, so.
That's super real.
It's just funny. So P tracker, Flow, FLO. Check those out. If you already don't have one, if you have one that you really like, shout it out.
And then the only other one I have for physical, because I know there's a few that a lot of people know about, but there's one called C to 5K, the letter C, number 2, 5K, couch to 5K. And then there's a few of them. Yeah, Carlie's couch to 5K. But there's a few of them. There's to 5K, there's to something else, whatever. I don't be running like that, so I don't know. But I liked it because I wanted to start getting used to running and like running. I just wanted to like running. And so I like it because it gradually does more and more running. So it tells you in your ear, it's like walk, run, walk. And then it gradually gets more and more walking.
Oh, that's cool.
And so it's like preparation for your first 5K type thing. And again, they have them for the different levels. But it's a good way to gradually like get more used to running and kind of prep if you ever had a race or something like that. For me, I just had a goal. I was like, man, I just want to run like 20 miles in a week, 1 week. And I just went to the gym every day and did like 4 miles. But before that, I had used C25K before because I just like gradually getting more and more, and it gets easier and easier.
Yeah, and I like that. There was probably a lot of research that went in behind how they do that and getting people's bodies in shape, literally from like sedentary.
Small wins too. I'm like, oh, I can run for 5 seconds,
exactly.
And then it's like, oh, I can run for 10 seconds.
I mean, I can run for 5 minutes now. Yeah, that's dope. I like Nike Run Club, the NRC app, and because gamification, I'm competitive.
Yeah, I love the gamification of it.
And there's the leaderboard, and like, I just like seeing like, oh man,